Hello guys, here again, back with another tutorial video this time. And as many of you probably know, we lost piston bolts at 1.14. The way they would usually work doesn't work anymore. Diagonal piston bolts are broken. So what I did, I got a fix for the diagonal piston bolts, and I want to show that to you, and also want to show you how you can incorporate the fix into this specific design here, for example, where you have a straight piston bolt transitioning into a diagonal piston bolt and then transitioning back into a straight piston bolt. I want to show all of these things to you. So yeah, let's go check it out. Okay, here we are in the creative world on the Patreon server, and here are the updated designs. Here's the old one, this is the new one. As you can see, basically all we had to do is add a block in front of the piston. This makes the entire design 2 blocks wider, but well, the result is, instead of nowadays having to spam the button for the minecart to do anything, the minecart just gets pushed through in one go very fast. And this is what we want. And over here is the same design we saw in the world earlier, the straight to diagonal to straight transition, but updated. And if we want to write it and sit in it, press it, and through we go. And the other way as well. A turn to the right works exactly the same way, and also flawlessly. Just to quickly mention, all of these designs are originally created by Beast. He made a very good video of it a few years ago, where he goes into very much detail on how to build piston bolts, what they're useful for. So if you want to learn more or know the basics, check the description, it will be linked there. Okay, now let's get to actually building this thing. Okay, to begin building, we're gonna need, obviously, rails, and depending on the direction you're building, redstone blocks. Because if you're facing east or south, it won't be an issue, but if you're facing west and north, you're gonna need redstone blocks. And here's why. Because when creating the rail, you want them in this curved shape. And as you can see, while we're going east, this is not a problem. It works flawlessly. However, if we turn around now, and we want to go west, first one is no problem. Second one already messes the first one up, and then it's already broken, and then this one, well, they all connect. It doesn't work. So what we're gonna need here is add redstone blocks, and then we can place the rails like so. For simplicity's sakes now, I'm gonna be building east. So we want to continue the rail. Oops, wrong way. Make sure they always interchange their facing and that they face away from you. It's important. Nice. I think that's long enough. Next thing, we're going to need pistons, and then since this is our start, we're going to have the first piston here, because the rail, the curvature of the rail always wants to face the piston face. Same thing here. As you can see, it faces into the face of the piston. Like so. And then we just dig little holes in the middle, in the space gaps between the pistons, and place repeaters. And now this is already technically a working straight piston bolt. We get a minecart, we get a repeater here, and some redstone. Actually, in this case, we can do it like that, and sit in it and press the button. I forgot a repeater. Sit in it and press the button. Yeah, as you can see, if you mess up one repeater or something, it will not work. Be careful to have all these repeaters on one tick. Perfect. Okay, next up, getting the actual curvature into the piston bolt. Make sure, depending on which direction you want to go, left or right, that the last rail you place, the corner goes into that direction. So with this rail, our next curvature is gonna go here. That's what I want to do. If we ended on this rail, we would go this way. Placing these will never be a problem, since they don't touch each other. So you can just go however far you want. placing them all, oops, like so. And then, because that's the easiest way to do it, I found was just add normal blocks right beside to it. I'm going to use iron blocks now. You can use whichever block you want that can be pushed, basically. Doesn't really matter. Nice. Behind, what we're gonna want is another block here. Sticky pistons. In the old design, this would be normal pistons. Here we're just gonna use sticky pistons. Like so. And here, on the way back, do the same thing. Add more sticky pistons. And here, as you can see, these will be lined up next to each other. That's important. To finally connect the diagonal to the straight, we're going to have to add another redstone here, another repeater, and set both to 2 ticks. Down here, we're going to remove this block too. Place the redstone here, that gets power from this repeater powering these pistons, and here we're going to add redstone 2 and a repeater in here. This will result in the same effect. This is going to get powered 1 tick after this one, and this one too, and then 1 tick later this one is going to get powered. Same here, because now we're going to add a repeater right here, and a redstone repeater right here, and a redstone right here, so they're both facing the same way. We're going to fill these blocks in later again, so this repeater will get powered. Move the blocks again, another repeater. Let's exchange these, it's easier. Move this block again, another redstone, oops, another repeater in its place, and another redstone under, and just keep going until you reach the end. Exchanging redstone and repeater. Okay, reaching the end, we're just going to fill up all of these spaces with blocks, and then the first transition should already, oops, make sure you don't click the repeaters, then the first transition should already be done. Let's go test it. Sit in it, click it, and down we go. Perfect. It's already more than we had on the other world, as you saw. Here, this could be a little bit tricky, because depending on where you start with the first piston, this might not work. Then you kind of have to change something here. I can demonstrate that real quick by using this configuration. So we start on this piston. It should be the same, right? But here, now it doesn't work. In this case, you cannot start with the redstone here. You're gonna need repeaters on both sides. Then it will work. As you can see. I'm not quite sure why that is. I'm just letting you guys know that if it doesn't work, try to exchange the redstone that's in the end here with a repeater, and it most likely will. For the configuration we have here though, this just works fine, redstone and repeater. To compare it, repeater on both actually won't work. So yeah, it's a little bit fragile in this case, but once you know it, you just have to do either of both options and one of them will work. Perfect. Okay, lastly, to arguably the most difficult part of this build, going from the diagonal piston bolt straight again. So first we want to have to know, okay, which way we want to go. This way, then these would have to go. If we want to go this way, then these have to go. I want to go this way though, so I will move the piston to block and replace this with a sticky piston. But only after I place this rail facing into the sticky piston. This is an exception. All the other times, the rail, opening of the rail has to face the piston head. Not this time though. So the other pistons are just going to follow the rule again, like so, with the familiar spacing between them, and just add more rails. Like this. And as you can see, we're going to have one wide gap here. We want that gap. It's important. Next up, we're going to remove these 3 blocks and place 3 repeaters. with 2, 2, and 4 ticks delay. So you can see down here we have redstone, so that we'll get powered through that. On that side, we just finish it up by, oops, not breaking the piston, but by placing these repeaters again. On the other side, it gets a little bit more complicated. What we're gonna do is replace 2 repeaters facing into the pistons, 2 observers behind them, facing into them, remove these 2 blocks, place a repeater right here on 3 ticks, and a torch right here. This block can go, and I need a redstone. Where is it? There. A redstone here. And behind this, we're gonna have to remove these 2 blocks because we need to change a little bit now. This repeater, at the last repeater in our chain of diagonal piston bolt, has to face a different way. It has to face away from this block. Otherwise, it will power this redstone and break it. We don't want that. Turn that one away. Here we have a repeater powering into this block. Another repeater behind it, into a piston, sticky piston, block above, and replace that piston properly again. So it looks like this. Behind, just add more repeaters to finish it up, and we should be done. Let's quickly test drive it with a minecart to the beginning. Straight, diagonal, back into the straight. Perfect. And we're in the end. If you should end up with a redstone right here, don't worry, it will work the same. Just place this repeater and you'll be fine. Timing works out. And another overview from on top. This is how you update your broken 1.13 diagonal piston bolts with transition to 1.14. I hope you liked it, guys. Join me on the server if you liked what you saw. And yeah, I will see you next time. And goodbye.